place to go. And that's the part that sucked. It was like, I still want to compete. I've got the drive, I've got the passion to, but I literally had nowhere else to go. I wasn't developed enough.
I was left with the sweet potatoes, and I said, well, might as well put it on there. Makes sense, and kind of been doing it ever since. So, yeah, and it kind of varies. Sometimes it's rice cakes with the almond butter.
Don't buy it.
Sometimes it's...
Right? Like, if it's not on the sheet, we do not eat. Period. I can thank Papa Gillen for that one. So yeah, everything else.
She told my mother I didn't have the heart to be a bodybuilder. That was the moment everything changed. Andrea Shaw decided right then, and her response to the trainer was, I'm going to show you exactly what kind of heart I have. In an era when women's bodybuilding was considered extinct, when the Ms. Are you enjoying this story about Andrea Shaw? Then help the channel with your subscription. Look, 94.8% of people who watch these videos still aren't subscribed to the channel. If you're part of that group, take the opportunity and subscribe now. It's free, and you'll keep receiving incredible stories of legendary bodybuilders who shaped the sport. Oh, and don't forget, at the end of the video, you'll find more stories like this one. Olympia title had vanished for 6 years, and experts declared the division dead. One woman from Detroit proved everyone wrong. She became champion not once, but 6 consecutive times. And the truth behind her rise is far more extraordinary than the trophies suggest. Andrea Shaw barely had her parents present in her life as a child. Her father was sick, and her mother worked 2 jobs, leaving her primarily in the care of her grandfather. The young girl from Michigan didn't find her refuge in playgrounds or living rooms. I would go to the gym. The gym was my babysitter, she later revealed. The powerhouse gym in Center Line became her second home, a place where she wandered among iron weights and seasoned athletes while other children watched cartoons. At 13, Shaw saw Linda Murray for the first time because both her mother and Murray trained at the same gym. The 8-time Ms. Olympia champion was there, training with fierce intensity. At that time, she never thought she would be good enough to compete in women's bodybuilding. But something stirred inside her that day, a seed that would take decades to bloom. Andrea dreamed of fashion runways, not posing stages. At 17, she had no desire to be a bodybuilder. She wanted to be a model, but she wasn't tall enough. At 5 feet 5 inches, the industry doors remained closed. The rejection could have ended her story right there. Then came the moment that shaped everything. When Andrea Shaw was 18, her training advisor told her mother that she didn't think she had the courage to continue training. The words were meant to dismiss her, to push her aside as just another unmotivated teenager. Instead, they ignited a fire. This motivated her to focus on getting into peak shape. She entered her first figure competitions in 2008, placing 3rd and 4th. But something felt wrong. The division didn't match who she was becoming. She took 8 years off from competing and disappeared completely from the competitive world. During that time, Shaw attended Wayne State University, where she studied exercise science. She gained 20 pounds her freshman year, battled through academic pressures, and worked in physical therapy at the Detroit Medical Center. Those years weren't failures. They were preparation. When she returned in 2016, her body had transformed. She competed in women's physique, climbing through amateur ranks until earning her pro card in 2018. In 2019, Andrea Shaw made her first professional debut in Toronto and placed 11th. 11th place in Toronto could have destroyed anyone's confidence. I knew backstage because I was definitely the biggest girl backstage when it came to the women's physique lineup. So I mean, even 11th place was a gift, she explained. Shaw spoke with judges and female bodybuilders like Irene Anderson, Linda Murray, and Alina Popa about her situation. All of these people told her she looked more like a bodybuilder than a physique competitor. The legends she had watched as a child were now guiding her toward her true destiny. She switched to women's bodybuilding and never looked back. But 2019 ended with pain. When Andrea Shaw competed at the Rising Phoenix that year, she placed 7th. She says personal losses she didn't take time to process contributed to her fatigue. The grief from unprocessed trauma had finally caught up with her body. She stood on stage exhausted, physically and emotionally drained. Most would have retreated. Shaw used the pain as fuel. In 2020, the impossible happened. Wings of Strength promoter Jake Wood bought the Olympia weekend and revitalized the Ms. Olympia title after a 6-year absence. From that contest, a new star emerged and became the face of the division. Andrea Shaw claimed her first Ms. Olympia crown, then won again in 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. Shaw's 6 consecutive victories make her the 4th most decorated Ms. Olympia champion in history, behind only Iris Kyle with 10 titles, Linda Murray with 8, and Corey Everson with 6. The road to her 5th title nearly derailed everything. Angela Yeo defeated Shaw 7 weeks earlier at the 2024 Rising Phoenix contest. Yeo beat Shaw by a single point and promised to extend the lead on bodybuilding's biggest stage. For the first time in years, Shaw tasted defeat. Shaw didn't take this loss lightly. She took decisive action, relocating from Detroit to Phoenix and hiring a new coach to refine her physique in 6 weeks for the Ms. Olympia. The woman who had trained at Powerhouse Gym her entire life abandoned everything familiar to chase victory. At 40 years old, she transformed her body one final time. She returned to Las Vegas and reclaimed her throne. In 2025, Shaw came back stronger than ever. She reclaimed the Rising Phoenix title in September, her 5th overall victory in that competition, then went on to capture her 6th consecutive Ms. Olympia crown in October. Shaw has 6 Ms. Olympia titles and 5 Ms. Rising Phoenix victories on her resume. Shaw has been in a long-term relationship with IFBB pro bodybuilder and coach John Simmons since 2016. Simmons serves as her primary coach, contributing to her competitive success. Shaw currently lives in Michigan, working as a personal trainer, and has plans to return to school, hoping to one day earn a doctorate. Are you enjoying this story about Andrea Shaw? Then help the channel with your subscription. Look, 94.8% of people who watch these videos still aren't subscribed to the channel. If you're part of that group, take the opportunity and subscribe now. It's free, and you'll keep receiving incredible stories of legendary bodybuilders who shaped the sport. Oh, and don't forget, at the end of the video, you'll find more stories like this one. Andrea Shaw saw a picture of Linda Murray on the wall and said, "I at least owe it to myself to see what I could look like if I absolutely got into the best shape of my life." That 13-year-old girl who watched a champion train has become the champion herself. 6 titles, 6 consecutive years of domination. And still, she trains at the same gym where her journey began. Some stories are written in iron.